Hey everybody, Troy Stewart here with the Bible Uncensored. I'm going to give a couple seconds for people to come on, but I wanted to say first off, thank you guys so much for liking the page. In just was it 4 days now? We have like 180 people or something to the page, so that's pretty awesome. Thank you for everybody that's subscribed to the YouTube and to those that have joined in on the Patreon. It's just really cool that you guys are joining in and being interested in this project and seeing it come to life. What I wanted to do is like a thank you to just everybody here that watches for everybody to be able to like share out and stuff, is to give you guys a meditation on forgiveness. And I'll get into that in just a second. But the reason why I'm wanting to share this is because the Underground, the church that I pastor here in Dallas, co-pastor with a couple other people, is our focus is on not having shame, not letting people stay shamed for anything at all. Because shame, it causes you to hide, it causes you to be fake, it causes you to play that game that like everything's okay, even when it's really not. Because it's okay for things not to be okay. We just got to be able to embrace it. We got to be able to kind of own the problem so that way we can actually move on from it. So one of the ways that I deal with not accepting shame is on personal forgiveness. Meaning, like, how do I forgive myself for the things that I've done? So part of that is I do some meditations, and that might sound scary to some of you guys. Really, meditation is about like learning how to breathe and think correctly, so you can like center yourself. It's a practice that is used in many traditions, including Christianity. It's very, very helpful. There's a lot of like neurological studies done on it, on the effects of the brain. Highly recommend that you guys start this practice. But this practice is not what you're going to think. It's not to sit down, breathe and go, om. It's not like that. This one's very easy. So this meditation on forgiveness, what I want you guys to do is at some point, either today or this week, sit down, take a journal with you, preferably something to actually write, not like a phone or computer. Get some pen and paper so you can actually write out what's happening. As you're moving through this meditation, with that journal, your pen or pencil, whatever, what you're going to do is get to a quiet place, somewhere that you can be private and that people aren't going to be able to bug you and hear anything else. It might be your car. If you have kids or roommates or something, maybe just go sit in your car for a while. And what you're going to do is you're going to really just kind of slow down and start thinking, like drawing yourself into your own thoughts here. And you're going to find the things that you feel shame about. You're going to find those things that maybe it's actions that you've done, maybe it's thoughts or doubts or fears that you have, the things that make you worried that if you were to share with anybody, they would say like, whoa, that's not cool at all. That they would your reputation would be ruined. They would shame you. They would condemn you. Those types of things. The stuff that you have not confessed. Because when we don't confess things, we lock it in, and it causes us to experience a condemnation because of that shame. So what you're going to do is, by yourself, to experience the first bit of forgiveness and losing shame, so I want you to confess those things out loud. It's important. Do it out loud, okay? We'll get to the journal here in just a second. So as you're confessing it, it might be... for a lot of us, we carry the guilt and shame of watching pornography, right? So you might say out loud, I watched pornography, and you just confess that. I confess that I watched pornography. I confess that I got drunk, or whatever it is that you feel shame about. I confess that I lied. I confess that I lost my temper, whatever, right? You're going to say that I confess whatever it is. I confess that I doubt that God exists. I confess that I have fear of people abandoning me, so I kind of have a fake way of relationships. Whatever it is that you feel shame about. confess it out, okay? Now, immediately following confessing it out loud, I want you to confess out loud as well, God, I accept your forgiveness. And then also say, I accept my own forgiveness. What you're doing is you're forgiving yourself. And you're accepting God's forgiveness as well. And it may sound robotic. It may seem kind of like phony and just kind of like weird, but do it. I've done this for a while, and it really helps me be able to open up with people and get that off of me, because confession is a huge deal about losing shame. But we really do have to learn how to not shame ourselves and be able to forgive ourselves. So what the journal is for is, as you confess it, right? I confess that I lost my temper. If you begin to feel anything, if you begin to have any types of thoughts or whatever, journal that down, write it out. When I confess this, I felt this. And so that way you can work through those feelings. It's important to take notice of what you're feeling here, okay? Whenever you confess that you accept the forgiveness, write it out. How does it feel to say that I'm forgiven? How does it feel to be free? Those types of deals. So just allow yourself to write it out as you work through these confessions. Journal out how you're feeling. Journal out what your thoughts are. Journal out if you go like, I don't really think I am forgiven. Journal that. And practice this meditation multiple times. Keep it going until you really do begin to feel yourself free. That you really are forgiving yourself. Because this is so very important to lose that shame. To just go like, yeah, okay, I messed up, and have the freedom to move on. Because most of the time we're pretty gracious to people. When they mess up, we can go like, it's okay, move on. But when it happens with us, we're like, we get so angry and locked up with our own selves. So that's what the journal is there for. Also, towards the end of the meditation, write out what it would look like if you were free from shame. What type of husband or mother or wife or father or son or brother, sister, whatever, what type of friend, what type of coworker, what type of business runner, like whatever it is that you do, what type of person would you be if you were really free from shame? If you were really free to be you, what would that look like? And begin to dream about what that would be. Because it really is fun to go, man, if I really believed in myself and I didn't shame myself, I think I would want to do X, Y, Z, whatever. So just begin that exercise of thinking that out. And then as you've confessed, you move through whatever it is, that shame thing. As you confess that, and then you confess as well that you accept the forgiveness of God, and you accept your own forgiveness to yourself. And if you don't believe in God, you know what? Just say, like, I accept my own forgiveness. Whatever it is, whatever God you believe, whatever you don't believe, just forgive yourself is a very vital thing here. For me, it's Jesus, it's God, so I need to accept his forgiveness. And I believe that is the ultimate truth to me, again. So this is what I work through. I want to lose the shame there. So when I come to the end of it, to the end of this meditation, when I've journaled out how I feel, when I journal out how I feel when I confess the sin, the shame, whatever, how I feel when I confess the forgiveness, how I feel about the future, what it would look like to be free of shame, to be free of guilt and condemnation, all those things, then what I do is I give it a moment of praise, of thanks. Sometimes I put on some music, like a favorite praise and worship song, whatever, that just helps me express my thankfulness. Sometimes I dance around, which is kind of weird to be like in your room or whatever, alone, just kind of like doing a little dance. But the important thing is whatever's in your heart, get that out. Be thankful. Because as we create a mindset, both of losing the shame, of having the forgiveness, and then also of being thankful, we begin to express that gratitude. If something happens really cool in like your mind and your heart, where you begin to be more free. So do yourself a favor, work through those confessions, that meditation on forgiveness. Again, if it feels robotic, if it feels really weird, just work through it, and say it out loud. Because when you say it out loud, you're hearing yourself say it as well. So it hits multiple ways of your brain accepting reality. And what we're doing here is we're changing our realities. We're changing the reality of that I feel shame to becoming I feel free. And the more free and away from shame that we are with ourselves, the better we can be with other people. So anyways, guys, that's what I wanted to be able to share with you. I hope this helps within your own daily lives. it's helped me a ton. Tweak it however you want to tweak it. But yeah, I just wanted to help you guys to live a more full, shame-free life, so that we can approach God, we can approach ourselves, we can approach other people free, that we can take off all the filters and everything else. And this is a step to live uncensored for ourselves. Because we do that. Shame becomes a type of censorship, because we then change who we are and how we let people see us. Anyways, love you guys. Have a great day. Bye.